Good morning. It is September 1st, and I am Dr. Shalona McFarland here in the Philippines. And today I thought I would discuss menopause and perimenopause. I know I've discussed this before, but I did a presentation on it yesterday, and some people missed it, so here it is. So, menopause and perimenopause, what is it? It is a hormonal shift in the body, and it can happen anywhere between 25 and on. So, yes, it can happen that early. Some women just grab the unlucky straw of getting it really early in life, and it kind of stinks, but that is what happens. It is poor regulation of the hormones in the body. And so you should have your hormone levels tested so that you know what they are. And I don't know why the lighting is so horrible in here this morning, but it is. So it is what it is. So, what are some of the symptoms? Some of the symptoms of perimenopause are memory loss or brain fog. You know, when you're walking through the house going, what is that thing? I need that thing. You know, that thing that you flip pancakes with. What is that thing called? And you can't recall it for no apparent reason, and it's something that you use all the time. Or you're going through the house going, where's my pen? Oh my God, I've lost my pen. Where's my pen? I can't find my pen. Or you're on the phone with someone going, hey, I can't find my phone. Can you call it? Those are all things that I think have happened to all of us. All right, joint pains that are unexplainable. That's another symptom. You can't sleep. Hot flashes or hot flushes. A flush is when you get this rush of heat and then it's like instantly gone. A hot flash can last a long time. All right, anxiety, or if you're easily stressed, irregular periods can be a symptom. Night sweats, vaginal dryness, mood swings or changes, irritable. If you're irritable, have dry skin, thinning hair, changes in your sex drive, those are all symptoms of perimenopause. All right, so how can you fix this? Some of the things you can do, so there's three hormones, three main hormones in the female body. I mean, there's a lot more if you're ever pregnant, you know that about oxytocin and relaxin and all those. However, the three main hormones are estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And these are the same in male and female. The levels are different, but they're the same hormones and they do the same things in the body. Okay? This is why medical docs find it so easy to mess with hormones for people, to turn them into things they're not. Okay, so when we start to lose estrogen, we increase our risk of osteoporosis, we increase the risk of coronary heart disease, we increase the risk of diabetes, excuse me, we increase our insulin resistance, which of course increases the risk of diabetes. It increases neural inflammation. Okay, that's that, that thing that you flip pancakes with. That's what that is, that brain fog. That is neural inflammation of the neurons in your brain. It increases visceral fat, so that fat around your belly that you just can't seem to get rid of, that's visceral fat. And it increases muscle loss. So those are all things to look for when your hormone levels are off. Hormone replacement therapy is a good place to start. You have to know your hormone levels in order to know what to fix. That's why I recommend bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, because it's going to be more specific to what you want, not just, oh, you're female, here, we're going to throw progesterone at you, which isn't even usually what the problem is. It can be estrogen. It can also be testosterone. So I've had patients that their testosterone levels were blown out bad, And that is actually what was causing their problem, not estrogen or progesterone. And these were in females. All right, so what can you do to help this problem? Strength training. Strength training is fabulous. And I'm talking not just like little stuff, but like you're going to need weights, like good weights. 15, 20, 25 pound weights for upper body strength, doing leg presses, go to a gym, get a gym membership if you need to. It increases bone density, decreases the risk of osteoporosis, because when you build your muscle, it makes the bone stronger. So therefore, it increases the risk of osteoporosis and osteopenia. Good morning, Maddie. Also, it increases the ability to produce hormones. So strong muscles, a strong body is really important for hormonal balance as well. Okay. Manage your stress. If you have a high stress job that you can't get out of, then figure out how to manage that stress. Meditate, read the Bible, do hot baths, hot Epsom salts baths, get chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, take care of your body, take care of your physical beingness as well as your mental beingness. Increase your protein intake. So proteins, meats, eggs, beans, protein shakes. For a protein shake, you want 1 to 2 grams per kilogram of weight. I know in the States we use pounds, so that would be 2 to 4 kilograms per pound. Okay, because a kilogram is about half of what a pound is. Or there's 2 kilograms per pound, right? Something like that. I think that's the correct math. At any rate, the Mediterranean diet is a really good place to go for eating habits. So lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, lots of high protein meat like lamb, steak, wild game is always good because there's no hormones, there's no added junk that they put in it. Hi, Anita. So those are all things that you want to look for as well in your protein. If you're eating beef, you want it grass-fed, grass-finished. Okay, so that means if it's not grass-fed, grass-finished, that means they could have pumped it full of gunk at the end, like fed it a whole bunch of grains and a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want in there the last month to beef it up. Grass-fed, grass-finished. Excuse me. Fruits, veggies, good oils. So good oils would be cod liver oil is a good oil. But as far as cooking, you want extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, palm oil. Those are it. Vegetable oils are out. Those are nasty. You don't want those. They're full of chemicals. I posted a thing about that earlier, and how margarine is literally one molecule off from plastic. Like cockroaches won't eat it because they don't recognize it as food because it's not. So, if something that could actually survive an atomic bomb wouldn't eat margarine, you might want to consider not consuming it yourself. So, it helps decrease weight. The Mediterranean diet, it decreases weight, it increases muscle mass because you're eating more proteins. It improves body functions and decreases inflammation. And as I've said many, many times before, inflammation is the diseasing process. Anytime you have inflammation anywhere in the body, that opens up the door for diseasing processes. So if you have healthy cells going into menopause, so if you have already been taking care of yourself going into menopause, then the hormones, sorry, I've got my cards here that I use. the hormones are protective and the symptoms are not as bad. Okay? So if you're not there yet, start taking care of yourself. It's going to make a huge difference if you do go through it, or when you do as a female. All right, so that means if you've eaten right, exercised, had proper sleep, controlled your stress, and had regular chiropractic care throughout your life, your menopause is going to be a much happier thing for you rather than somebody who hasn't done those things. Okay? All right. If you do not have healthy cells going into menopause, your hormones are no longer protective and the symptoms are difficult to control now. So if you've taken care of yourself, if you haven't, start now. Take care of yourself. Your hormones are protective through menopause. If you haven't taken care of yourself, if you've smoked, if you've drank too much, if you've done drugs, if you've been a couch potato, if you've had a sedentary job, if you've had high stress in your life, then your hormones are not going to be protective. They're going to be detrimental. Okay? All right, so if you're going to do hormone replacement therapy, you want to do it before you're 60. Now this is something this was new to me when I took this particular seminar, because I know a lot of women who are on hormone therapy and have been for decades and still are, and they're in their 80s and they're still on hormone therapy. Okay. So if you do hormone replacement therapy before you're 60, it decreases your risk of cancer, decreases your risk of autoimmune diseases, and decreases your risk of Alzheimer's. However, if you do hormone replacement after 62, I don't know why 62 is the magic number, but that is the number they used, is 62. If you do hormone replacement therapy after you're 62 years old, it increases the risk of cancer, increases the risk of Alzheimer's, and increases the risk of diabetes. Okay, so those are some things to think about if you choose to do hormone replacement therapy. So I already discussed the good fats, the good oils: coconut oil, palm oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and of course, omega-3s from cod liver oil. You want to have a fiber-rich diet, so lots of veggies. If you can do 30 varieties of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds and spices a week, which isn't that hard to do. You can do that in one salad if you do it right. That will help your gut microbiome, which is going to keep you a lot healthier. And all right, then you want to do lots of protein throughout your life, like I said. So unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why the vegan way of life can be so unhealthy later on, because you're not getting the protein you need. Beans are nice. It's not the same protein as animal protein. All right. Low protein throughout the life, your menopause is not going to be so great. So if you have a lot of protein throughout your life, you're going to have an easier time during menopause. If you don't have enough protein throughout your life, that can trigger autoimmune diseases during menopause. Okay? All right. Your visceral fat. So the cytokine storm in your viscera increases inflammation and increases all diseasing processes. Again, the inflammation increases all diseasing processes. So if you have too much visceral fat around your, you can't see it, around your midsection, that's going to increase all of your potential to have all sorts of different diseases, including cancers, diabetes, fatty liver, heart disease, stroke. All of those things increase. Okay? If you have high visceral fat, it increases the risk of high cholesterol. It increases your risk of insulin resistance. It increases your risk of type 2 and type 3 diabetes. Do you know what type 3 diabetes is? Have you ever heard that? If you've been listening to me, you've heard it. That is Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is type 3 diabetes, okay? Cognitive declines. So something else you can do is intermittent fasting is very good for the body. That is fasting. So like if you fast from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that's a 12-hour fast. That's a significant fast for a lot of people. So that means no food, no alcohol, no snacking, just water. If you're going to consume anything, just water from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, that's a good intermittent fasting time to start with. All right, again, strength training, lift heavy weights, walk with weights. That's a good thing to do. That all increases bone density and helps improve muscles, decreases stress. Okay, all of those things. So anytime you're exercising, you're going to be decreasing anxiety type stress in your body. All right, get up with the sun. I know some people have the night shift and they can't do that. They're going to bed with the sun. However, if you can get up with the sun, that's going to help your circadian rhythms. Touch the earth, grounding. Grounding is super important as well. That's going to help get your circadian rhythms balanced. It's going to help your electrical magnetic field to balance out. Grounding is touching earth, not concrete. Hey guys, I'm on. Just a second, sorry. Hey guys, I'm on. Can you chill a little bit? Thank you. Okay. So grounding is touching the earth, not concrete, but actual dirt, earth. One of the best ways to ground is to get in a large body of water. So I am blessed enough to be next to the ocean, so that is the large body of water that I usually get in. And so that is actually the best kind of grounding you can do. If you have a pool, that works too, okay? All right, so make time for yourself. Read, rest, take nice hot Epsom salts baths, get your chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, do all those kind of things to help control your stress levels, okay? Get adequate sleep. That is 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. So if you're doing the fasting from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., you are sleeping the majority of that time. So that there's no excuse to eat while you're sleeping, okay? Valerian root helps, so does lavender. One of the number one side effects of chiropractic care is you get better sleep. That is something I hear every day, okay? All right, well, sorry about the interruption there earlier. So those are all things you can do. Yoga, get out, exercise, bicycle, swim. You can do your grounding at the same time as you're exercising if you're a swimmer. These are all different kinds of things you can do to help your body go through life better, to help the symptoms of perimenopause and menopause throughout your life. And it's establishing good habits now, so that as you age, as you get older, you've already established those good habits, so you don't have to go, oh God, I'm 58 years old now or 68 years old now and I've never exercised a day in my life. That's going to suck. That's going to suck a lot. So start the process now, and it will be a lot easier to do and to maintain and to continue as you age. And it will help you age better. It will help you feel better, look better, everything. All right, guys? Okay, hopefully that gives you the information you wanted this morning. And that was a pretty fast go through of menopause and perimenopause, but I think that should be a good rounded seminar for you guys of about 20 minutes. Alrighty, guys. God bless. Love you. I will talk to you next week, hopefully without the interruptions. Take care, guys.